So for the lining, Daisy. For the lining, I got this beautiful seersucker cotton. I think it will be a really nice like summer Daisy! Naughty. So for the outside of the jacket, I got this like heavy cotton twill linen blend. I wanted something a bit heavier, but the shop didn't actually have anything too heavy, so I think for a trial run of this jacket, this and this will work quite well together. And for the trimmings, like everything I seem to get kind of made the jacket become more and more nautical. I've got these brass drawstring locks, and then the buttons I found these little navy blue ones with little anchors on. I don't know if you can see those. But yeah, suddenly it's become a coastline themed jacket. And for the thread, I was quite impressed on how well I could colour match the thread to the fabric here. Ta-da! Okay, so I got this on sale in Liberty last week, and honestly, it's quite a fat package, so I'm a bit worried how many steps there are going to be. Also, I just realised that there's ribbing on the collar, and my normal haberdashery was closed today, so I might just have to finesse the collar instead of a comfy rib. Also, there are like 4 pages of instructions, so I think this isn't going to be one of those one-day ADHD projects. I'm actually going to have to do this over a few days. The size of the paper pattern. So I only need 2.85 meters of the fabric, but I think I'm going to make it a shorter version than this. I don't want a long coat. I think I might cut it off just under this, there's drawstring here, so I think I might just cut it off here and have a short jacket. Overall, there are 19 different pieces to use. Help me. So I'm in no way like a good seamstress. I only started sewing in December last year. My husband bought me a sewing machine for Christmas, and I thought I'd save loads of money not buying clothes, but turns out fabric is just as, if not more expensive than clothes, so. Okay, now I've been painfully optimistic about this. It is now 4:30. It's taken me an hour and a half to cut out the pattern, so here we are, last piece. Right, now that I've cut everything out, I need to decide how long I want the coat to be. So obviously this is the full length, and then here is where the center drawstring is. So I'm thinking somewhere around here. I'll measure myself and then see how long I want it to sit. Okay, so I think these protruding bits here are where the side pockets go, but I don't think I'll need them if I make it a 60 centimeter jacket, because I'll just have these bits here for the front pockets. Okay, so obviously I was a bit over-optimistic with how fast I thought I could complete the project, because I only got to the end of the first page of instructions in about 4 hours last night. I love doing new patterns that I've never done before because I learn so many new things. When I try something like this jacket and it has 2 halves to it, so there's a left half and a right half, I always like to do one step, one half at a time, instead of like doing both at the same time, so I can see how it's supposed to progress, and then there's going to be a side and not so side. But then that way, if something doesn't quite work out the way I planned, or if I haven't understood a section, I can then put what I've learned in that section onto the other half of the product, if that makes sense. Anyway, I've made the front 2 panels, and I think I've done the lining correctly. Actually, I think I've done it back to front, but that's fine. The rest of the design can be back to front. We move, this is a practice. Also, I don't know what it is with this thread I'm using. I've never used Gutermann thread before, but when I was trying to make the buttonhole for the front of the jacket, in the lining, it would just keep slipping off the spool, and I don't know how to fix that. Like, I tried to change the tension, I tried to change the stitch length, but like the buttonholes just did not go well. But anyway, this is where we are now. So this was super confusing. I've attached the lining to the placket. Bear in mind, I think I've done this on the wrong side, but that's fine. We live and we learn. But here we are now. I think this is just attaching the back to the back. I think. Possibly. We'll see. I think maybe what I do different next time for not just this pattern but for any pattern is if I'm doing a lined design, I think I'd choose a lining fabric that has a more obvious right side and wrong side, because right now, like, I don't know what side's right and what side's wrong, and I don't know even if there is a right side or a wrong side to see a sucker, but it makes it really confusing. What are you doing? What are you doing? Sabi nada.
Happy life.
Okay, so the machine was skipping, so the stitches weren't skipping, but the thread was like pulling at the top, but it was like coming loose, but it wasn't catching. I don't know what was wrong with it, but it was doing it so often it was just giving me like a minty bee. So Taku's very kindly unstitched the entirety of the whatever this is called, and I think I'm just going to skip that step and not have a tie waist, because I will throw my machine out the window if I have to do it again. Okay, so it doesn't really seem to be doing the catching thing at all when I sew the outer fabric to the outer fabric, so I don't know if it's like it doesn't like the combination of the lining fabric and the outer fabric. I don't know if that's a thing in sewing. Like, again, like I don't know how to describe what was happening, and I don't know why it was happening, but it's not doing it with this on this, so maybe this was the problem. Okay, so I just tried it on for the first time, and God, it looks ridiculous. And for the first thing, I used like a pre-cut collar trim, and it's just far too long for the collar. Hey, look. Oh, it's so silly. And I really struggle with like visualization when it comes to cutting patterns and where all the fabric goes and how it lays. So this sleeve is fine. This sleeve has become inside out. That always happens. Don't know how that happens. It's massive. It's really big. It's just generally a mess. I don't know how, but the button holes have ended up inside the jacket. Just overall, like, it's terrible. But that's fine. I'll try and clean it up, and then once I've finished the project, I'll salvage what I can, but I think it was a good learning experience to try something I've never done before. Oh well.